The Israelis and the IDF in particular are facing some pretty harsh criticism, rightfully so, after an IDF soldier decided it would be a great idea to post an image of an IDF soldier destroying a statue of Jesus Christ in southern Lebanon. Now, Cenk, before we jump into the details, I thought the Israelis just hated Muslims. Looks like they also hate Christians. Weird. So here's another look at the image of the IDF soldier destroying the Jesus statue, which went viral over the weekend. And to your point, Cenk, that's why Israel probably felt the need to respond to the backlash. Now, according to the Jerusalem Post, the incident allegedly occurred in the village of Debel in southern Lebanon. The vandalism took place in a Maronite Christian village, which is strange. You would think that a Hezbollah stronghold wouldn't allow for a Christian village, considering how vicious and terroristic they are. But apparently this Christian village existed, didn't have any problems until the Israelis came along.
Christianity and the secret societies, we could just summarize it as follows. The old Babylonian religion gave rise to Kabbalism. Via the Essenes and others, Gnosticism came into existence, and Gnosticism was founded by Simon Magus. This comes from no other source than History de la Magie and by Eliphas Levi. Wow, that's a high Masonic source. So Gnosticism, founded by Simon Magus. Then this Gnosticism, with its secret doctrine, was eventually, over time, through many intermediary organizations, carried over to the Knights Templars. And the Knights Templars were a group of a Roman Catholic order, if you like, that were set over the temple site to protect it. And they had strong links to Islamic societies, the Ismailis, the Karmatites, the Fatimites, the Druzes, and the Assassins. Now the Templars, they had their secret inner information inculcated in the Rosicrucians and the Jesuits. The Jesuits, again, formed and created Freemasonry. The Jesuits, again, formed and created Freemasonry. The Jesuits, again, formed and created Freemasonry. And Freemasonry was created as the Protestant arm of the Roman Catholic Church into doing the work that Rome wanted them to do, so that Rome could sit in the background while Freemasonry did it for them.
Now, it's one of the few villages where residents have remained even despite Israeli occupation. And as you can imagine, the image sparked a massive outrage online, followed with, fake calls for investigation by the Israelis. And the reason why I say it's fake is because we've heard this before. This isn't our first rodeo. Israel does something wrong, everyone is outraged, and then they claim they're gonna do an investigation, everyone forgets about it, and then we move on. And by the way, we have some statistics on their investigations in just a moment. But here's the statement from the IDF. They write, following the completion of an initial examination regarding a photograph published earlier today of an IDF soldier harming a Christian symbol, it was determined that the photograph depicts an IDF soldier operating in southern Lebanon. So they're confirming that this is in fact a real image. The IDF views the incident with great severity and emphasizes that the soldier's conduct is wholly inconsistent with the values expected of its troops. Oh, I've seen what's expected of the troops, and this is hardly inconsistent. The incident is being investigated by the Northern Command and is currently being addressed through the chain of command. Appropriate measures will be taken against those involved in accordance with these findings. Now, Netanyahu acted shocked and chagrined. He said he was outraged as well. Let's go to graphic 5 here. He says, yesterday, like the overwhelming majority of Israelis, I was stunned and saddened to learn that an IDF soldier damaged a Catholic religious icon in southern Lebanon. I condemn the act in the strongest terms. Military authorities are conducting a criminal probe of the matter and will take appropriately harsh disciplinary action against the offender. You know, what's really interesting,
TYT.
which makes the second half of Netanyahu's statement so enraging, because he wants to deflect from the wrongdoing of the IDF soldiers and instead continue fear-mongering about those scary Muslims. He says, while Christians are being slaughtered in Syria and Lebanon by Muslims, the Christian population in Israel thrives, unlike elsewhere in the Middle East. Not true at all.
They get spit on, literally.
No, even worse than that. Okay, there's the Armenian quarter. Armenians are overwhelmingly Christian. They deal with physical attacks and assaults from unhinged Israelis on a regular basis. I want to give you some more examples, actually. So let's go to this post by Steve Sweeney, where he says in November of 2024, Israeli soldiers from the Golani Brigade desecrated the Saint Mema Church in the Christian village of Der Mimas, southern Lebanon. Soldiers staged a mock wedding ceremony, danced and simulated sex acts inside the church. The Israeli military said the conduct was contrary to its values. And if you think there's no way that happened, this is totally made up, he has receipts. He posted video. Let's take a look.
Oh, the great Mary.
מי מחתן אותנו?
הגענו לערב הזה. הגענו לערב הזה אחרי כמה זמן של זוגיות? 6 שנים. כאן בתי
So there's an example for you right there, and there's more. So Sweeney, well, let's take a look at this next video. We'll keep my mic up so I can explain to them. This is additional footage from Steve Sweeney, a reporter, who's done extensive reporting in Lebanon, and was, by the way, targeted by an IDF strike recently, and luckily was not hit. But this is footage of a church that was destroyed by Israel in Lebanon in October of 2024. At least 8 people were killed in these attacks. And let's go to one more example. Another video, take a look.
We're in the small southern Lebanese border village of Sarada, and I want to show you how badly this church has been absolutely desecrated by the Israeli forces. You can see here that there's a bunch of graffiti on the wall, but I think actually that's probably the least offensive thing that we have seen in this church.
And it's not just in Lebanon. Why don't we actually take a look inside Israel? The Religious Freedom Data Center documented at least 201 incidents of violence against Christians, primarily committed by Orthodox Jews, targeting international clergy or individuals displaying Christian symbols between January of 2024 and September of 2025. So in a year and a half, 201 incidents involving violence against Christians.
That's weird. It's all the things they warned us the Muslims were going to do to Christians. It looks like Israelis are doing to Christians.
Strange.
Oh, it's almost like every Israeli accusation is a confession. So Netanyahu, what does he do in that response that Anna read you? Okay, maybe we're desecrating a bunch of Christian places and murdering Christians, but it's the Muslims. Muslims do it worse. So he's constantly deflecting. Remember, everyone, hate the Muslims, but we're so worried about anti-Semitism and bigotry. No, you're not worried about bigotry at all. You just want supremacy. And so you think that we should all serve you. And now I say that, and that's how a lot of people would catch feelings over it. So let me explain. The majority of Jews, especially in America, don't believe that they're the chosen people. And they just think that that's some sort of like, hey, we're chosen to carry a burden or whatever, things along those lines. At least every Jewish person I know, and I know a lot, right? So, but we know mainly liberal Jewish folks in America. Now, a lot of them don't know any Israelis either, right? And what they don't realize is that the culture in Israel has slipped. It's not like Jewish people across the world and in this country. So a lot of them are secular and liberal like us, right? But more of them these days are religious fundamentalists and yes, supremacists. So for example, the settlers do believe they're the chosen people and they don't think it's symbolic.